Yo ho ho! What's going on, guys? This is Grim Reaper bringing you back the next session of the One Punch Man podcast. Today we're covering One Punch Man chapter 122. The greatness has returned, and we're eluding the optimal setup that we wanted last week, but this isn't too bad either. This chapter brought a lot of information, a lot of different feelings, a lot of speculation. We had a lot of fun in Discord so far discussing the different things that have come of it, the confirmations in the series that we already knew. So let's bring our thoughts out here. All the other guys dropped their videos. Kishin, Zhoniin, Sundown, Satsuki, Matt is coming up. So make sure you check out everybody's content. But let's see what they have to say here first.
Man, if anybody seen my live reaction, y'all already know how I feel. This chapter wasn't bad. There's no bad chapters of One Punch Man, to be real. But Murata knows what I want. The world knows what I want, and he's keeping it from me. And I keep getting teased by these cutaways to other heroes and whatnot. I want the damn titties. It's as simple as that. I'll just wait until we pass the 30-second mark. But yeah.
You want to see them fleshy globes?
Yes.
But which pair?
Preferably Fubuki's, of course, but Gero is the one I'm holding.
It has to be Gero. It's the only one that we haven't seen. If we do not get Gero titties, like, bro, the hype that's been put around that, just by Satsuki alone, like, them shits have to be fucking, like, perky as fuck, juicy and shit. She got to be wearing a dress to where, like, you can see the majority of her cleavage and shit. Not that, like, wholesome, beautiful Fubuki shit where, like, you don't see none of her stuff, but you still want to, like, do that thing to her. Nah, we need, like, slutty titties from Gero.
The mystery memories.
I'm not sure about that. Just based on what she was, like, wearing with when she met Orochi, well, maybe she'll wear something different, but I think it would be more the same.
Or that shit'll get turned off. Shit.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
This chapter was good. Satsuki is right. More of the water versus child fight. That fight is definitely something I'm enjoying. It's a little weird at times because I was under a misunderstanding of how evil natural water works, but I've been clarified now. So, and of course, Genos getting that intel, be it how accurate it is or not, I'm not really sure, but because we're always under the assumption that Drive Knight might be the traitor and everything. So little comedy from Flashy and Saitama, always appreciated. Didn't last too long. And of course, the birth of the S-Class. Wasn't seeing that coming ever.
Yeah, I agree with both of y'all. Chapter was pretty interesting. I like the part where Child Emperor got shot in the leg.
Bro, what the fuck, dog?
You didn't
we were past the child abuse, bro.
As long as he's in
we ever pass the child
there will always be that, apparently.
There will always be an element of the abuse, whether it's legal or not. But but yeah, as Kishin was kind of alluding to and straight out said, I was not expecting the S-Class part. And I was kind of confused. I wasn't sure whether we were kind of getting like a delayed kind of hype up. Maybe this was something we should have got before they came into the Monster Association. But I get the feeling that this is hyping up the S-Class further because we're about to see some big shit go down. And I think Zhoniin mentioned that a couple times as well. Like, this is only the tip of the iceberg. We're about to see some big shit go down. So I'm ready.
Just a tip, huh?
Just the tip. Only ever the tip.
Tired of being teased. I'm tired of the foreplay. I'm trying to go in raw.
Finish one fight, damn it, and then move on.
Well, I mean, like, if we take into account the fights that we have been juggling, like, in the past 3 to 4 chapters, Um, people were already complaining about the child fight. Like they were like, "Oh, we know he can't win, so it's whatever." And then you got the fucking Gums fight, which was bottom of the bucket in terms of all the fights that were set up. So honestly, if this is the beginning or the tip of the iceberg, doesn't it make sense that we're getting like these like portions of these other fights? Shouldn't we expect like a full fight for the big boys coming up?
Yeah. If we don't, I'm gonna complain, and people gonna be mad at me. Like it's funny because like when you said it, well actually no, um when we were talking about the Child Emperor versus Phoenix Man fight, it was good and it's really great in hindsight, especially when you get a chance to just read it straight through and not be like with how we were experiencing it. Um, at that time, it was like, was it still bi-weekly at that time? It doesn't matter. We were experiencing it chapter to chapter, and it was kind of taxing because we had the redraws in between and some of them, and in that moment, it kind of took a toll on us a little bit. But like again, in hindsight, it's a lot better that we just focused on that one fight, and it's like amazing now that you look back on it. And I miss that where we just had the singular focus on two characters, S Class and whoever they're fighting at the time, like the Zombie Man chapter, the Phoenix and Child Emperor, Flashy Flash, and Hellfire Flame and Gale Wind. Like I miss those where we just like concluded a fight and then we would move on. But I feel like with this chapter in particular, like since we got that history lesson for the S Class heroes, I feel like this is the calm before the storm, and we'll start kicking into action soon, very soon.
Like I would kind of like it to be more focused, or maybe like say two fights are going on in say one chapter, just like last chapter, for instance, and then say this chapter should have continued that flow. Where you just keep seeing those two fights until their conclusion, chapter to chapter. That would be all right with me. But some of this, like we'll barely get a fight started, and then we're jumping to the next one. Sometimes just mere pages later. It gets a little grating after a while, but I enjoy the series enough to mostly overlook it.
I mean, you guys are making it sound like it's like that debilitating.
No, I'm just saying it's just a little annoying. You want to see characters that you don't ever really get to see fight, and then as soon as they get a fight, bam, 2 pages later, we're on to a fight with characters we've seen before.
I mean, while I definitely hold that same stance, like I'm experiencing it the same way as you. We also got to take into account that like when it's read together as a whole, it probably won't seem that way. It'll probably even seem like cooler or more stronger teases because you can read it all as in a book. Like these chapters are really only like 30 to 35 pages on average right now. So
not even that.
Yeah, but sometimes we do get like I think like 3 issues ago we got a bigger chapter with like 40 or something like that. I'm not sure, I don't remember, but whatever the average number is, I think you'll get enough content to where if you're reading it all in one whole, you're getting satisfying portions of the fights. Like obviously the pig god thing isn't a good example of that.
Yeah, that was like one chapter, and that was how long ago? Yeah. Now he's on the floor. God damn it!
That thing get 8. Fuck. But
well, he already got 8. That's the problem. And then he ate his way out.
But I definitely would be upset if like Amai got the similar treatment. Like if we get to see Amai next chapter like on his fucking knees or whatever about to go down, and then the fight's over. But that's the thing. I'm not expecting the Gums fight to be over like in this stance. Like I'm expecting the nigga to like fucking sacrifice his arm or some shit like that and like take that nigga's head off, and then we see that fucking pig god as regeneration or some shit like that, or like I don't know, bro. He may have some like pigly tendencies, but I don't know what kind of like peculiar like positive traits pigs have, like besides like being able to eat anything. So
what you think you're gonna sniff out a truffle?
Hey man.
Pig-like qualities. And
but
yeah,
like,
I sniffed out your truffle, and then turns out it's Gums' kidney or something.
Yeah, I definitely think we all agree that like the cutting away is getting a little annoying, but Just reread that bitch, bro. That shit probably look raw. Hell yeah.
I mean, it's, issue to issue. If we were binge reading it, we wouldn't have this issue. But it's just like probably my biggest qualm about the series, especially this arc. But like I said, I still get the spectacles I like and everything, so it's just a small drop in the bucket for me.
Okay. So moving on to the chapter then. So amazingly enough, this was dropped in the Discord, and apparently this is accurate. And this is a cover for a volume. It should be on screen currently, or maybe not. We kind of got hit with a copyright claim recently this week on the review for 122 or 121. Yeah. So I'm kind of a little nervous about stuff right now, but I posted it here for the people. Make sure you guys check out the link to the Discord if you guys want to get access to all the images and conversations that we have in discussing the current chapters and One Punch in general, as well as other anime and manga. But yeah, this is the volume cover. Fucking badass, ain't it?
Oh man. Oh shit. Grimm's about to go apeshit. It's got Atomic and Flash next to each other, man.
Yeah.
That lightsaber.
It's Child Emperor.
Yeah.
This is gonna create problems.
Child, that swordsmanship. You a Jedi, nigga.
But can you spot Saitama?
Saitama's in the picture. What the fuck?
Yep. He's there. I didn't know it. I was actually, when I saw Zhoniin post this on Twitter earlier, I was like, it was like the best way to enhance this is if you had Saitama in the background with a butter knife and like a confused look, like saying, "Am I doing it right?"
No, I don't see the nigga in the picture, bro.
Look at Child's gun.
Oh, I knew it was gonna be some trash ass Easter egg like that.
He's in the barrel of the gun.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He would be the ultimate bullet, though. Let's be honest.
All right, let's get it started, man. So for the cover page, we got the little chibi version of Death Gatling, Chain and Toad, Red Muffler, and Smile Man, I think it is.
I'm not really sure.
On this little like Jeep that's lifted up and shit like that. The past like few chapters, Muratas has been in love with drawing like vehicles and shit like that. So it's pretty cool to see him over to this. Maybe somebody should make a collage of all the vehicles Murata's drawn.
Must got him new whip.
Low key, very probably. Shit, that nigga rich as fuck.
Maybe it's one of his like side hobbies or something, is admiring vehicles or something.
Is that what niggas do on the side? Like go around admiring vehicles?
This is what he's doing. This is what he's doing instead of giving Satsuki the Gyoro titty, man.
Yeah.
Bro, what the fuck was that?
I don't know, man.
I turned my phone off. Thank you very much. I learned from last time.
This ain't the fucking Wild West, bro. What the fuck? The obvious situation here we were just talking about is Child Emperor versus Evil Natural Water. The fight isn't at its conclusion yet, but it does seem to be reaching its climax or another pivotal point in the fight. This, to me in general, the entire Evil Natural Water situation has been really, really hard to follow. Mainly last chapter. Last chapter with like Evil Natural Water extending his hands and shit. Or was it? No, that was this chapter, yeah.
He doesn't have hands.
Well, the extending his appendages as if they were hands and shit. I didn't know exactly what was going on when he actually took what's his face? Like
Sludge Jellyfish.
Yeah, Sludge Jellyfish. I was like it was just really hard to tell exactly what was going on. Just reading it
Go ahead. The same shit for me. During my live reaction, I looked at the chat. I was like, "Wait, what the fuck just happened?" I went back and I was like, "Oh, okay." But it took me like a while to understand what happened to him. I was just sitting there like, "Wait, the Child Emperor just freeze him or what?" What's going on here? Oh yeah, and we're not going to skate past the fact that Child Emperor did not kill sludge jellyfish. We're not skate past that.
Nigga, what the fuck?
Well, he
What?
tried to burn him
I mean,
alive, but
yeah,
he is made
he
out
was
of
good.
95% water.
My nigga, he a tank. That's it, dog. How is that? What?
He's also a tiger, isn't he?
Like,
But he didn't kill him though.
the fuck,
He's still
bro?
walking around. This dude who looks like a walking turd is still alive, and Child Emperor couldn't kill him.
Oh yeah, that's the thing, huh?
Yeah.
It's
For all
probably.
we know, Phoenix Man could still be alive.
Oh. Yo,
Well, he does have
these niggas
regenerative
is fucking
properties.
trash, bro. Did the Discord send y'all niggas, bro? What the fuck is going on here?
I mean,
He does have regen and everything, so like just regular fire. If it was a laser beam or something that he had done to him, maybe it would have, ended him back then. Which I actually forgot what took him out when I reacted to it. I was like, wait, I thought he was dead. Where is he coming from?
Okay, so is this sludge jellyfish like bullshit, like for real, or like y'all niggas just trolling or what?
No, I was trolling, but I was kind of surprised that we just see what's his name, Sludge Jellyfish, roll back in. I fully thought he was completely dead. Surprised that he's back, but it gave Evil Natural Water a quite intelligent key and way back into victory. But yeah, definitely surprised he was actually alive.
See, that's why like I'm conflicted to like how I saw it, because to a certain extent I was taken aback that like, oh, this guy came back. We had recently gotten the whole atomic G5 scenario, and my strongest weapon up against Zhoniin's flashy sucking is the fact that a nigga didn't kill 100 Eyes. So it's definitely a thing in the community that like not killing inferior monsters is indeed like a stain on your reputation or whatever. Yeah, the problem with that, bro, why the fuck is everybody like...
notice how's the character that you like. I think Murata's joined the Discord on the alt. Oh, Atomic? All right, bet. And it's especially what was G. I don't know if G5 was an original character. Never mind.
I think
Not
he
sure.
was. From what
If
I
he
understand.
was, that's even worse because it's like he knows he can fuck around with G5 and do that. And with this just like sludge monster, he knows he can just bring him back. But like, yeah,
Well, Sludge
go ahead.
Jellyfish is or manga original.
Yeah, that. Okay, so yeah, so in that sense, he knows he can mess around with those characters and and not have like Atomic or Child Emperor, any character Grimm likes, kill them.
That nigga really be scheming in Discord there, bro. That nigga Murata has to be in there, bro. Hey, if y'all niggas want to talk to Murata, come to the Discord and shit. Talk to everybody, and eventually you gonna talk to that nigga most likely, because he in there, he active, man. They be doing this kind of trolling, dog. That nigga gotta be in there, bro. And one too, low key, man. One low key probably in the hospital or wasn't in the hospital, sitting there on his cell phone on Twitter, on fucking Discord and shit, just going after niggas, man. It has been two new niggas in Discord that have been like just at my neck, like just like, that's all the new niggas do, bro. New niggas come in, they're like, oh, where's Grimm, just trying to like debate and come at me all day long, dog. And then they settle down once I put them in their place. They settle down, but fuck, dog. All I'm saying to bring it like full circle is that like, yes, Child failed to kill a tiger initially. Yes, that is indeed us as a community, we do see it as a negative mark, even though it's not a major plot point. And then it's not like he can't take him down, just like for Atomic and for Flashy. But the reason why I completely disregarded it in this fight is because of exactly what Satsuki pointed out, that at a certain point, or at the end of last chapter, Child Emperor really did have the advantage against the dragon. Like a crazy cadre dragon, Child Emperor had the clear advantage against him, to the point that even Natural Water had to like conveniently, and this is why I wasn't really like too keen on the return of Sludge, because it seemed like he was more of a plot point, just more used to like save Natural Water. Regardless if that's the case or not, he did display his abilities. He took the oil from him, and different boiling and cooling temperatures, freezing temperatures, excuse me, freezing points. So you already know the combination. Niggas out there using science and shit, just like a fight with Child Emperor should be like, to establish the tempo of the fight. So I ended last chapter not knowing if like Child Emperor was really ahead. I thought it was kind of like some cliffhanger shit to show us that Child's really gonna get bodied in the next fight or in the next portion of the fight. And that's not the case. Even though Water had to take a countermeasure up against that. So however niggas want to like try to play it up and play it down to be wherever in the parts of the community, Evil Natural Water was at a disadvantage against Child Emperor without Brave Giant. So I disregarded the slander, bro. Fuck that whole like sludge shit. Like I don't want to hear it. How many dragons? Oh, okay.
Hey, at the end of the day, he's still about to lose this fight.
Oh, wow.
But what you said was true, because I said it in my live reaction. I said that it is like Evil Natural Water had like this plot armor, because Sludge Jellyfish came up in there on some stupid shit, and he was like, Evil Natural Water was like, oh, thank God this nigga showed up. All right. Good, because I mean, we don't know if that would have like killed him or just frozen him, but did look bad. I'll say that it did look bad for Evil Natural Water.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. We don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I'm pretty sure he wasn't gonna die from that, but like, he was definitely frantically trying to get out of that.
Yeah.
In my like opening statements and everything, I mentioned some things that during my reaction I didn't fully understand because I missed one bit of dialogue, which we'll get to that eventually. But it has been made clear to me that Evil Natural Water is not intelligent. He's completely running.
Hold on. What do you mean it's been made clear to you?
Well, because I missed one piece of dialogue in the chapter. Clearly, this thing has no brain, so it's not thinking. Now, be it we have no idea what the hell the eyeballs are all about, but it apparently is based completely around, like, it senses negative emotion, and it sensed when little grudge-filled slime buddy came in, and it's like, oh. And it's like,
gotcha.
Oh, new evil has entered my court. And then it's like, oh, you're also water too. Well, suck that thing through a straw.
That's really dismissive, though, bro.
Yeah.
That's super dismissive of like. Nah, I don't think we can do that, bro. Like the highlight that was put on this chapter to the fact of the oil in contrast to the water, and how Even Natural Water like literally used it to defend himself from the ice. I don't think it's fair to say that like he was just sucking him up because he was water and the oil happened to help him.
Yeah, see, that's a major point, and also the fact that just because he's how else would he be able to differentiate between negative and positive emotions, right? I mean, yeah, we saw Sludge Jellyfish come in with major hate.
It is Evil Natural Water, so I guess he's in tune to negative waves.
Negative waves. That was a good one. But
that wasn't even intentional. Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, like, I don't buy it. Like the Grimm's kind of response in the sense of he specifically siphoned out the oil from Sludge Jellyfish because he realized that would require lesser temperatures and probably a lot more firepower from the snowman. He's got to have some element of intelligence too.
Well, he's also known to just absorb all water around him, from the air, from bodies of water, and also just from bodies. And Sludge Jellyfish is 95% of that shit. The oil just came along with it because it's a liquid.
But did he absorb his water as well?
You see him as a husk. On page 7 of Manga C, you see him, and he is just a lifeless husk. I'll post it in the Discord.
Thank you.
So it's like, oh, thank you for the meal, and just kind of spits him out.
I don't know. We definitely have a lot of room to speculate because especially in this chapter. Like Kishin's claim that like maybe what Child's pointing out, which I completely disagree with. I think we should pay attention to it solely because of the other part of this chapter also has information that like I'm kind of not in agreement with. Made a big deal about it in the live reaction, and I think I should break it down here and see what you guys think. So, not fuck that. We'll do that when we get to it.
Also, another point I want to bring up because I realized it on a reread. All the little doctor fish, the mad doctor fish, they're no longer in him. After he absorbed the oil, they couldn't apparently, I guess, stay in his body. They either were expelled or they jumped out.
Yeah. That's a good pickup.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing this as like.
You sure? They're right there. Isn't that
No, you
them
see
right
it in that. No,
you
you
see
see
it in the same page.
Yeah, he it looks like he spits them out or they jump out. Can't tell which one is which, but
They're like,
yeah,
we can't breathe this oil shit.
Oh, that's what he's talking
Get us
about.
out.
Okay. And that definitely looks like they got spat out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's badass.
So
So
I'm definitely seeing this as a potential fight where, okay, the last fight that Child had, it was against a not a mutual, but a fellow intellectual, let's say. This is more of a intellectual versus more of an instinctual type. Because that's about the closest thing you could come to for someone that doesn't have a brain that we can tell. So Child Emperor is just thinking he's doing all this stuff when it's more just convenience to make either this fight last longer or just be that much harder and hardcore when it ends.
I completely disagree, bro. That's like completely disregarding the story, bro. Like, how can we just say that like I see what you're saying, like the whole instinct thing is a possibility. Like the entire Court of Child Emperor is him realizing that it's intelligence instead of just like random chaos or instinct. That's what he's saying. So we definitely have a reason to speculate, or we had a reason to speculate whether he was sentient or not. But for me to agree with you, I'd have to get more information of him doing chaotic things or like out of control things or things that like are just coincidental. But like, I don't think anything that's happened here is coincidental.
That's fine. I mean, until we see the next portion of this fight, either one of us could be right,
Big facts.
But I would like to see that because all these misconceptions from Child, and it's like, holy crap, this thing's really smart. It's, counteracting all of my ideas and plans. And it's like, and it's just doing it out of instinct or out of just pure, I guess you could call it plot armor in a way. Because like that, it didn't absorb the oil, through my methods for that reason. It's just in its body because it absorbed all the water as well. So it just got that as like an additional bonus that it's not even aware is necessarily there because it doesn't seem to affect it.
And why did he block the ice then?
Well, he did what?
Go on the page where I post right now. There's that's why I called it an arm, right? Like before, because it clearly looks like there's an appendage that's horizontal. Before there wasn't a horizontal appendage. We see him like on the page that you posted, the top right corner, the top right panel, you see his like tentacle that's like finished sucking out of the squid or whatever, and then you see his original like blobby form in the panel right next to that actual tentacle one. So he clearly has a base shape that he like tries to maintain, and these tentacles are appendages that he's using to get things done. So the panel that I posted, that's clearly an appendage, and I don't know if I would go as far as to call like those portions at the end fingers, but he may be holding on to something solid there. But for a fact,
that's the oil
he's
coming
defending
out
himself.
of.
But
That's just the oil coming out of jellyfish.
bet. Oh yeah, being sucked in more. Yeah, 100%. That's like
He was just only able to break through the ice enough, and then that's just how big of a limb he could potentially make. And it's like, I'm bridging the gap. I'm getting more water today, and then slurped him up through a straw, essentially. So it's not a traditional hand. It's more of a tendril, if anything.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think about so even out your water cannons, like difficult to like hit or whatever, piranhas, trajectories and shit like that, able to suck up organisms or liquids, fluids from organisms. How are you guys feeling about even out your water right now? Low cadre, weakest cadre, middle of the pack cadre, like just a matchup really. Like how are you guys feeling about even out your water?
I mean, considering that Child Emperor had the potential to freeze him, well, even though we don't know, but it seemed like he had the out of desperation in that. Um, he's kind of like I guess you could say like mid cadre into further notice. Like he definitely doesn't seem as much as of a threat as he was hyped up to be yet from what we've seen. From what they said in the series, like even Gero can contain him, and he was just like this creature that had to be locked up and just put on reserve. And right now, I'm not seeing that yet. So I think like with more of this fight between him and Child Emperor, we'll see that. But right now, the jury's still out on him, for me at least.
For me, he hasn't really shown anything, to be frank, even dragon level, and he's quite disappointing so far considering the hype that he got. He was contained in that container, and everyone was like, "Oh, he's not been released because he's a freaking handful," and all that shit. But I think, I mean, he's only beaten the 3 apprentices so far, and he's basically the worst matchup that they could walk into, right? Because they can't cut water. But imagine if these guys came with like that vacuum you can use to suck up water. He would be fucked. So I don't know. I haven't seen anything from him yet that suggests he's worthy of the dragon title. But I'm hoping he.
What the fuck?
What you think he's done anything so far that's said to us that he is dragon level?
How you gonna be even out your water, Sundown?
I'm gonna go there with my Hoover from downstairs.
With your what?
My Dyson
It's
Hoover.
Vacuum.
Oh, I thought you said hula, and I was like, "What the hell's a hula?"
No, obviously, I'm not gonna kick this guy's ass.
All right then, shut the fuck up, dog. Like you ain't out here scaling dragons, nigga.
Sundown isn't an S-class hero.
That's also what I would say, but I feel like he's just not. He hasn't shown us anything worthy of the title yet. The 3 apprentices, yeah, they're super powerful, but their worst enemy is someone who can't be cut right, and that's exactly what Evil Natural Water is.
I think it's like off of Betrayal, he's definitely, like high dragon, like just off Betrayal alone, but just off of what we've seen so far, keywords so far, even though he washed the disciples, that's a feat that I think we can even give to demons. Like, Rhino Wrestler was like just, washing niggas left and right. So I think it's he didn't wash him, but like he was going to get his ass whooped still.
Nah, I tell you no.
She was all right. Yeah, it's just so far in this fight, we haven't seen like some of the other impressive feats that we've seen of these other dragons. But I'm not worried about that right now. It's so early in the fight.
Oh, none of us have mentioned we lost Frosty today.
Damn,
He gone.
we did.
You got fucking body, bro.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Robot Frosty. Uh,
got you.
I mean, like, I personally think even out your water's a true dragon right now, simply because of like the whole, difficult to hit type thing. Once again, Child Emperor isn't like a normal example of a hero. Like, out of all the heroes we've seen, he uses the most intelligence in his fighting capabilities. So to know to freeze water, like, I'm not saying that that's like the craziest thing to go after, but even us in the community, we were mentioning like heat to evaporate him. Like it was seldom of us, or even if we did, it wasn't often where we brought up that idea. So if anybody
well,
can
there was no other precedence for it. Like we haven't seen like a character that could freeze. Sure, we could have always thrown out an idea that like he might have a freezing ray or something, but we had never seen him use it. So that would have just been possibly headcanon.
nigga, all this
No,
shit is
before
headcanon,
this.
nigga.
I know, but I'm
No.
just saying.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Keisha there because it's like we've seen abilities where having each evil natural water be evaporated would be like plausible, but we haven't really seen like other than other than like the One Punch Man OVA. I think that's like the first time we see someone with like a freezing power, at least that I can remember. Like the only thing else we have is like Fubuki's name being Blizzard. That's about it. So it even like crossed our mind.
Yeah, but would she be able to even freeze him quick enough to where he'd be busting out of that so quick? Sadly,
Fubuki dying. She went up against evil natural water.
she wouldn't just be dying; she'd be getting dranked. But seeing as he can absorb other like substances, I'm kind of wondering what he's fully capable of if he absorbed like certain materials.
Like change form or something like that.
No,
Based
just
on
like
whatever.
gaining like the actual properties, like the oil. Like now he's a lot harder to freeze, but if he like absorbed like I don't know, I can't even think of
Blood.
something. Blood, I don't know if that would really benefit him because technically he's already doing that. Because did you see albino Saber's body lying around anywhere? No.
I mean, he would have iron in his system at the very least. He would have. I think. I definitely think it's going to go in that direction though, where he's getting the properties of these other liquids that he's absorbing. But I don't know like how many other liquids he could absorb to, keep changing properties other than like blood, like I already said.
So you got water and oil at least. So that's two simultaneously. So we know he can.
Mercury.
It won't be like switching it out, or he won't be like having to switch out liquid so far as of yet. So that's not necessarily a possibility. But yeah, he could definitely compound. Most likely compound. Maybe even more than this.
We need lean.
Now, as for the shape-shifting possibility, I have no idea. Like, he doesn't really take on real defined shapes, like, the tendril arms, like, for instance, this panel, where, Child's, like, down on the ground, and it looks like, oh, crap, this is bad. And he's just kind of suspended himself off the ground. Like, that's one of the most defined forms he's taken. And that's not really saying much.
Yeah, that is the other thing too. That like, because he's not a humanoid, it's so fucking hard to fight him, bro.
If anything, if you don't really think he's like full on dragon because he doesn't have the intelligence, he doesn't have the feats that we've seen with other.
He does have the intelligence.
He doesn't have a brain. God damn it! He has 2 googly eyeballs. That's all he got.
According to Child Emperor, which I trust a lot more than you, Kishin, your non-satellite having ass. This nigga's intelligent. So
I've got cloaking devices, bitch.
So whenever you get a satellite, or whenever you prove you don't got intelligence,
through me,
then we can talk. But until then, we're gonna go with Child, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm with Keishan on this one for the fact that it makes more sense for Child Emperor to misinterpret even natural water's instincts as intelligence because it just seems like I feel like you're thinking like Child Emperor Grimm in the sense that it's so much of a coincidence that it could be possible that he just took in oil off of the chance that of course he doesn't notice that
But that's not a
um
coincidence, bro. That's like, bro,
we don't know that.
y'all are nah, bro. Y'all are telling me to
It's
not read
easy
this
to
intuitively, bro.
overthink
Like,
something,
this is
which
not
is
even
what
like some
Child is doing.
decipherable shit. It's like it's plainly like this the story, or let's talking like in like the breaking the fourth wall, right? The story gave us a plot point for this character. Like, this character was in a tough situation. He used an immediate resource that showed up out of nowhere to assist, that happened to help him in the fight. This isn't like some fucking like he put a call out for reinforcements, or like there was a sword on the ground, he picked it up. No, like something came into this situation and then he utilized it, and it exactly nullified what Child Emperor was doing up against him to get the upper hand in the fight. Like, I don't think it's not, but it's like literally like you're ignoring that. Like, that's what it seems like to me. Like, you can't. That's the last thing I would have thought of. Like, for sure, Child Emperor's statement is definitely like, you should take that 99% truth, keep 1% skepticism. But like, we don't have evidence to say that like this nigga's observation is wrong. Like, you don't have evidence to say that, man.
That's the thing. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying it's not clear and cut that it is intelligence based off that fact alone, because we don't other the only thing that we have is this, and you admitted that it was kind of like a plot armor type of thing where it's
Big facts.
sludge jellyfish is just coming in here like, oh shit, what are y'all doing here? And then even
Basically
natural
just
water.
gives him a power up.
Yeah, so like we can't be sure. I'm not saying it's either way. I'm just saying that it feels like to me that Child Emperor is going to misinterpret this as intelligence, and then as the fight goes along, he's going to start to realize like, wait, like he's acting weird or something, like something's going to be up to where he finds out like the information that Genos we saw later in the chapter, that he's reacting off of negative emotions. I'm not sure where it's going to go with that, but that's what I think right now. But it could be both. It could be one or the other. It could be both. We don't know.
I don't know, bro. Like I said, I think y'all niggas are like, this ain't even reaching no more, bro. Like, y'all niggas got the gum fruit out here, man. Like, y'all niggas stretching
Yeah.
to this. But as you said, more information will prove it. And like I said, the funny thing I'll admit is that like it would be kind of a badass plot point to see Child Emperor misinterpret something. But not only do I have like evidence to say that he most likely wouldn't, but this situation doesn't seem like it's like that. But as y'all said, and as we've already put it out, it's turned into more of a debate than I thought it would. But yeah, 100%. We'll find out soon. Because no doubt, bro, like, this nigga really could be just off emotions and then, like, instinct and shit. But that doesn't correlate with, like, not having a brain. There's plenty of, like, eukaryotes. I forgot the fucking scientific term, but there's probably, like, single cellular or other type
Like
of cellular.
zygotes and all that
Yeah,
other
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. And even like
What is it?
more prehistoric
Zoonoid?
multicellular organisms that don't have brains or full nervous systems and they still react and all kinds of shit like that. Or even like current day animals that don't have nervous systems and they still do shit. So either way, bro, we like we're gonna see more of this. Like, I'll put more respect in the doubt, the skepticism, but like at the same time, I'm not gonna act like it's not most likely that Child Emperor is right. But I'll definitely acknowledge the skepticism here.
How I view it in the simplest way possible is, okay, you know how like book smart people, they always look at things in the most logical way possible, and then you have a street smart person that like just sees it based on experience. That's what Child's doing. He's seeing based on, like what animals behave like and everything, and it's like, oh, this dude's really intelligent, and it's just instinct. So I think that's what's happening. So like if someone else was fighting it, they might have figured out, it's like, wait, is this thing even like thinking on its own, or is it just lucking out? So
The next thing we want to move on to is Genos entered the arena by presenting us with some scouting information. He was given data about the espionage that Drive Knight was doing while he was down here. whether this is Drive Knight's convenient cover or maybe even Drive Knight's way of killing Genos, I think that the possibility of faulty information or incomplete information or misguided information could be plausible enough to be, or to give suspicion to Drive Knight trying to kill Genos by giving him this. Obviously, this is just my spiraling thought, but this all stems from the fact that there's two hints of incomplete and possibly questionable information. First is obviously the most controversial one that I've seen all across the community is Rover being a submissive individual. I think that's completely like it's a translation issue or something's going on there, but it doesn't seem consistent. And secondly is the fact that Orochi's power set isn't completely detailed. We all know that he wasn't around. We all know the obvious reasons why these things are incomplete, and they're to help depict the or to help maintain the continuity of the story. Obviously, this character hasn't met that character. He can't know that information. If he does know, he has to have a reason for it. So now that we're using the espionage explanation, there has to be some information that he has access to, and obviously some that he doesn't. So it was indeed cool to see that. I'm glad that Murata and One have put that much attention and detail into like maintaining the continuity of the story, because that's really all we have here, man. Besides the fucking amazing art and the great plot line, the fact that he's like consistent and there are no like huge plot holes is a reason why we can hold this story or lord the story over a lot of other ones. But that being said, is it wrong for Genos to doubt himself? Can Genos beat a dragon? Like, what are you guys thinking? Can Genos beat a dragon?
It'd be cool. We'd have to see it first.
Depends on the level of dragon, right? I mean, like if he was going up against, let's say, if Orochi was actually still alive, I don't think he'd be able to beat him.
Yeah, that one's hard to sell if he fought that one.
But maybe
Some of
like
the others, maybe.
Yeah, I think maybe someone like a Homeless Emperor. That would be a good one. Just because of the part where it says physical ability similar to that of a normal human. But once again, we're not sure if that's completely true or not, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's another part that I wanted to question too. Like, how would you know if he hasn't been injured?
Physical ability.
The thing I want to question is, are these images that were actually given to Genos? Because some of the angles kind of hint that they were taken at very odd times. Like the black sperm one, for instance. You can see debris on the floor. So that is during the atomic fight. Who the hell was there to take a goddamn picture?
No. We saw panels of sperm whenever he was walking around and there was like rubble falling because of commotions. We saw it before.
Well, whoever it was basically up on the ceiling. And like a roach, like who's going to get close to him?
Somebody was sitting there looking at Giro while she was looking at it.
It's like, I'm the only one who gets to stare around here, motherfucker.
It's like the One Piece bounties, how like you'll think to yourself like, how the fuck are they taking these pictures?
It's called real optical zoom, or they're like Nami and they think they're from a magazine or something.
No, you gotta upgrade your snail. You gotta go into the local store and get your snail eyes upgraded.
Sniper-scope.
Yeah, get the new lens on that bitch.
But I don't know, man. He has to be the dragon, in my opinion. I wonder how he's going to use this information. Like if he's going to try to target someone specifically because he feels like he has a skill set to beat them based on the information, or if he's just going to, pull up on anybody, and he's like, "Yo, let's do this shit. What's up?"
Actually, given the evil natural water information we get, be it if it's actually accurate or not, like I said, I'll wait until we get more of the fight and everything to be 100% on it or not. But like, if Genos doesn't give off negative vibes or anything, not made of water, he could evaporate that bastard, and that'd probably be the easiest win out of all of these that he could set up.
Niggas are talking. Matter of fact, no. This is it. This is the sundown version of Kishin. This motherfucker has evolved from first taking that Grimm cell to fucking this fucking degenerate now. Like, now with this creditless bullshit? Like, my nigga, even After Waters had 2 presentations, and Kishin's out here busting the nut on this nigga, bro. On everything. In the next 5 chapters, I'm putting my Discord name for a whole week that even After Water starts clapping cheeks and Kishin shuts the fuck up. I put money on that shit, nigga.
I don't take it as disrespect. He prefaced it by saying if the information is true, based on the matchup, then I think that's fair to say. Like if it's based on negative emotions, and if Genos doesn't exude negative emotions, then that's fair to say.
So he's just like, what the? Y'all niggas on this true.
That's not an indictment against him, especially when it's a matchup problem. Because we see monsters have horrible, or heroes have horrible matchup problems. That doesn't mean if they lose that particular fight or whatever that they're trash. It just means it's a bad matchup for them.
Bro,
See, but
I really want Evil Natural Water to do something crazy though. I want him to fall down into like some large body of water or something, like some sort of underwater cavern or something like that. Maybe where the 3 ninjas were even.
Oh, and just absorbs that whole body of water.
Yeah, and just become freaking go
evil natural ocean.
Yeah, I want to see some shit like that. And then if Genos is fighting him, and it's like basically Evil Natural Water has too much volume to evaporate, that's what I want to see. I want to see him actually struggle and fight against Evil Natural Water at like a proper high dragon level. That would be sick. Can't wait for that.
I mean, we already speculate what a high dragon is and shit. Like, there's really only like there's quite a few actually, but it's speculative. Like, Goketsu be a high dragon unanimously. EC, Brave Giant, Child Emperor, Phoenix, who the fuck else was that? Rover, Giro, most likely Sperm, Flashy, Atomic, probably Darkshine. There's a whole cast of people that we can like unanimously or agree to call them a high dragon. So if it's by that standard, I can agree with you, Satsuki. But I don't know like how you're looking at it, or I just don't know, bro. Like, all I know is that like I do agree with you about the whole match situation, but I still take that as disrespect. You can't say that like, oh, he'll handle him easily. It's just a nice matchup. Oh, evaporate his ass. Like, Child got fire. Child can use fire.
Well, why hasn't he used it then?
Hey, my nigga, he's found a better way.
But Child isn't a cyborg nigga like Genos. That's the preference. That's the whole caveat. If Genos doesn't give these negative emotions off, and if the information is true that Evil Natural Water only reacts off of that, then yeah, it's kind of like the disciples, like they weren't killed, and why weren't they killed? Is it because like Evil Natural Water was like, fuck it, I already beat them, or is it because
just went
like
into Zen state to like hide their emotions, and then it's like I don't know, it absorbed that one monster. What the hell? Why hasn't it killed us yet? Just resigned to their fates.
Yeah, I think it's like,
because that is a good point. I didn't even think about that.
All right, so I guess it is fair to say that like he may not attack them if they're not having negative emotions. Especially the dialogue that Jody Sludge came in talking about, like he used nothing but malice and hate and revenge. So that's definitely a reason for attacking him. And we could even make the conversational point of arguing whether Evil Natural Water attacked Sludge before continuing to fight before continuing to fight Child Emperor, because he was showing more negative emotion than him. Could be the case. Sure. That would even lend a little bit more truth or more credibility to what Kishin was saying. The fact that it's instinctual and that him taking the oil from Sludge just happened to be that he had oil and he took that bitch. But that still doesn't change the fact that like he used the oil in a combat manner, not like an instant way. He used it effectively, meaning he has a comprehensive knowledge of water versus oil.
It just spread throughout his body, dude.
Nah, bro. Like you're ignoring the fact that he blocked it. Like that's a clear block. You're saying it didn't happen.
He didn't block anything.
He literally blocked the ice beam, bro.
He was being attacked on a different front, and then he busted out of the ice on another part to get jelly.
So what is the horizontal arm then? Why is that blocking the path of the ice beam? Like, come on, you're ignoring that, bro. So I'm saying, like, this is the other piece of evidence that does lend a little bit more towards that. He's more instinctual based, but it doesn't have nothing to do with his intelligence. Like, agreed, we have the evidence to say that this guy may have a drive towards emotion, and if we get another instance where somebody else comes in with even more hate, and even natural water goes after him instead, then we got it confirmed. It's based on how strong your emotions are. So if you're sitting over there beating your meat happy as fuck, and and fucking Suki's on the other side over there, like mad as fuck because his girl just dumped him, that nigga's getting killed first. Fuck that nigga. That's what it seems like.
Why were those the examples you
Hey, I'm just saying.
I don't know.
But that doesn't mean that even natural water's not gonna fucking kill Satsuki while out there fucking fucking setting a trap for his bitch ass. Fucking, he's gonna walk down the street like crying and shit, right? And then he's gonna step into a puddle because it's raining. You know what happens whenever you start crying and shit? The sky falls too. So he's on a rainy day getting this nice little slim fit, long sleeve tee because he was gonna take it on a date and shit. It was his birthday too, bro. She broke up with that nigga on his birthday, bro. And she told him that she cheated on that nigga, bro. He's sad as fuck. He's sitting down there stepping through puddles like fuck it all, bro. Like I just drown myself, whatever. And he steps into this oddly looking puddle, and that bitch, you know, it's a little bit bigger than the rest of them shits, bro. Right. Even natural water just cuts that nigga's throat out, bro.
This is how many backstories for Satsuki is this now? Is this the third?
Well, he's got quite a
Shit
few.
keeps getting retcon.
He's black sperm came from his balls. That's the first one.
Oh man, this backstory actually made me sad. Sorry.
Yeah,
Satsuki. If that's what happened in your past.
I'm over it.
Also, another thing you brought up, it's like the one piece of information about Overgrown Rover, about like he's submissive and you didn't like it. What if you didn't like it?
No, it's not true.
He was submissive to Saitama after he got punched in the face.
Yeah, that was one person.
How did he join the association in the first place? It's either Orochi or Goro that he's submissive to.
So anybody who joins the association is submissive?
No. I think it's anybody that's more powerful than him. So someone that can kick his ass. And someone that probably has kicked his ass, so maybe like Orochi and Saitama.
Don't show fear to a dog.
That's what happens with every single monster in the association. All of them, including Awakened Cockroach, was afraid of him. All of them were, by definition, his bitch or subservient or submissive towards Orochi. So does that mean that they're all dogs? That's what I'm saying. Like that doesn't, like what you got. That statement doesn't make sense because all the monsters showed that trait. All of them were submissive or subservient to a person stronger than them. So I'm saying it's either a translation issue or that's not true. That's part of the misinformation that is going on, leading to even more possibility of Drive Night setting Genos up, and that might be the case later on. I'm so interested to see if there's some sabotage shit going on here. Because why are you giving out this info so widely and easily, man? Like I know it's your cover. It's his cover that like he was gathering intel, so it would be in his best prerogative to give them information or to give them data, or else it'd be pointless. But this is a lot of info. And half of it, or portions of it, seem incorrect. So, I'm looking at this, bro. Or I'm going to be at least looking at this for a bit.
It is a lot of information that we got in this chat.
Anybody else want to defend the intel?
I'm taking it at face value.
So no.
No, I think it is what it is. It's. I'm not sure about Drive Knight's allegiance, so things like that little part about Overgrown Rover, even about Evil Natural Water, there might be a little bit of misinformation specifically. But would it just be specifically for Genos? Because I don't think he'd ever have foreseen that he'd interact with Genos, right?
What
Makes sense.
that could be a reason against, but it's just data, right? Like it's not like he wrote it down on a piece of paper. Like just as much as he can take the data and record it, he can also alter that. It would literally not be anything to alter that information. Maybe even make different copies depending on who you give it to. Because I don't think it'd be far fetched to say that the second guard has a copy of this information for the association, or that a copy has been sent to the association headquarters already. So, headcanon wise, assuming that there are 3 copies of this information out there, I don't think it's far fetched to believe that each one may be different, or the association in general all has flawed copies. Like I said, this is only a small possibility because of the fact that the information is incomplete, and we know of the justification as to why it's incomplete. So this could all be just headcanon. I think I do have a reason to question Drive Night for a little bit longer.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. You have every right to question Drive Knight and his one eye.
Yeah, one eye means it's like, where's the other eye? I don't trust this fella.
I'd have trusted what you said, but you ain't got 2 eyes.
So it's that time when Flashy was pretty funny to see. Them planning on encountering monsters along the way. It's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. And then immediately after that, we got an info dump. We got information on past heroes, what they went through, how they started. So thoughts on the overall thoughts. What are you guys thinking?
It was really cool to see this. Like, I was recently, along with Griever, was reading all of the side chapters and everything, the bonus chapters, and I was reminded during that Metal Bat was, a C class originally when he joined up, and I was reading this chapter, I was like, wait, he started off as a C class? What? But then reading that bonus chapter from God knows how long ago at this point, I was like, oh, okay, so that links up. So that was just very convenient timing. But like, I did like this info dump. It was nice backstory.
Suzuki?
It was just cool to see the heroes at different points in their life. I don't know how far it couldn't have been that far in the past because like pretty much everybody looked the same except for like we see Bang and fucking Garo. They were still together when he was B class, so it was. If I had to guess, like how much time passed in between them becoming like C to S class, it would probably have been like maybe months apart, something like that. I definitely don't think it was like years. But no, it was pretty cool to see them at different points. Like seeing Darkshine out of all people be the lowest ranked.
Yeah,
that's kind of
was
wild.
a surprise.
I'm not sure. I think I wrote it down for my review. I haven't edited it yet, but I think he had the biggest jump. I'm not sure yet. He's just fucking badass. But why? He looks so fucking big. Why would he be questioned? Like, why would he be given that last rank?
Yes, yeah, that's so odd to me because it's just like based on like just thinking about like the physical. I mean, maybe things were different how they judged what rank you are in, but man, bro, if I just looked at Darkshine, I'm like, all right, you going to A.
Exactly,
you going to A.
But not
you fast.
According to
I think I have a slight theory to why all of them that we see in this bit of a flashback, why they're so low. It's because it says like actual slaying monster accomplishments, their combat ability probably goes unchallenged. but their accomplishments of actually slaying monsters. Most of these, I'm wondering, like Metal Bat, he's got that high school Japanese delinquent look about him. What if he was still in school and didn't have time to fight monsters as often, so he wasn't getting a kill count? Bang, he was instructing a full school at that point, so he wasn't having time to go out and, beat a few heads in. And Darkshine, he's probably a world-class Olympic athlete. We don't even know where he was training. That might just be like the new training program for athletes or something. That's probably not even the Hero Association.
Another thing could be just because one of the points it makes mention of is that they don't care much about their rankings. They could just simply have not been reporting any of their kills, as opposed to the other, what would have been A-class heroes at the time. But then once they started taking out these demons, which were only discovered quite recently, which is quite a surprise. I thought they would have been known about for longer.
It's about 10 years because Saitama was still in middle school when the first demons started appearing.
Okay.
It's revealed in a bonus chapter.
Okay.
Well, this is definitely the association that's testing Darkshine. Why in the world would anybody else have a gravity room and be testing his, like, the crazy? But I do agree that, like, these guys, like, the jump, it really makes you wonder, like, what types of gains are we talking about here? Is it like these guys are jumping entire classes at a time? Are they like getting through ranks like Saitama was, like huge jumps? Like I think he got 100 rank jump before. Is it like that? Like it was alluded to a certain extent that like once they started revealing that they could take out demons individually, that's when the attention and the hype started to go for them. And some guys started to even get the, at least in Genos' instance, just getting the title directly. And that was seen as like abnormal. So that does give more credit to the fact that like you may have to just go through the ranks like piece by piece, part by part, even if it's in groups and jumps like that. But it makes you think like who else is out here doing shit? Like these niggas in their other stages and shit? Were they weaker back then? Like have these people actually been getting stronger and shit? Because it doesn't necessarily seem like that. Like I don't think Metal Bat's out there training. I don't think that.
He just swinging that bat. That's all he does.
Yeah, I mean they can call it training, but like I don't even think he's doing that. And I'm positive Watchdog ain't fucking training. Hell no, they gonna fucking train. Man.
I think part of the reason why he didn't go up in rankings is because if there wasn't a monster attacking, what is it, Q City?
Q City.
Then he wasn't fighting a goddamn thing, so why would they be ranking his ass up?
Stay out my hood.
He just rips that monster's head off like it's nothing. Oh.
I was surprised that Darkshine's wearing the bar he's got has a neck roll on it.
What you
I was
mean,
like,
bro?
man,
Fuck out of here, dog.
so it's got a neck roll on it, dude.
So, bro, you can't lift that much weight and be okay. Come on.
Bro, he got
And
traps the size of mountains.
I mean, his skin probably is pretty tough to pierce too, so you're right. But still,
He ain't need that neck roll, man.
that shit hurts, dog.
He's training in higher gravity than Goku did on King Kai's planet.
Really?
It says 15G. Presumably that's 15 times Earth's gravity, or because I don't think that would be like G forces, because that doesn't make a lot of sense.
So that's what that is, yeah.
Because it is a gravity room, so
Yeah, that's what it is. G-force. 15 times gravity. Yeah, you got it.
So and he's like breaking the floor and everything.
But how much was the Dragon Ball one?
For King Kai's planet, it's 10 times Earth's gravity.
Bro.
That's why Goku was having a hard time just walking.
Yo, this nigga Darkseid out there stronger than Goku. Confirmed, nigga. You heard it here first, man. Darkseid don't body that bitch ass nigga,
20
dog.
years ago, goddammit.
Hey, bro. So was this picture, bro. This picture was 20 years ago, too.
Flying?
Hey, what?
Yeah, confirmed.
What?
confirmed, man. That was in
Say that again,
the
Grimm.
same
Say that
time
again.
scale, man. That shit was 20 years ago too. Been like, nigga.
20 years ago,
confirmed.
metal bat is a
Hey, relax.
Grimm's making another video right after this. So he's like, yo, guess what? Confirmed.
Don't try to body that nigga Goku.
He trains in like 500 times Earth gravity now.
Oh shit, nah,
So, I mean, this is very impressive for a human, like in this universe. So I'm definitely wondering what he does in the current timeline.
When did Goku do the training on King Kai's planet? Like, what arc was that?
That was right after Raditz.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to know, like, what Goku we were talking about.
Yeah,
Makes
it was
sense.
early on.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I got you now. Because, yeah, Piccolo bodied him.
So there's something I want to talk about here. Just brought to my mind before we head out. I'm gonna read the quote, and then the person who came to my mind is Shiryu. So I want to discuss that person's potential in regards to this, and any character's potential in regard to that. So the quote says, "Fame and fortune, that is the ambition of many who choose the path of professional hero. However, their goal is only top of the A class and never S class. The common knowledge that is accepted by all, even by the fiercest warriors, is the S class is insane." So, just by looking at what we saw, many of us would probably say Shiryu is S class, like for sure. But he has a strong drive for money. That's actually his main reason to try to join the association, as well as like admiration for Saitama. So, like, is this alluding to like maybe a story point or a consistency in the story that like your ambition is correlated to like your level of success or power? Like if you're after, obviously money, is that saying that there's a cap to how strong you can get compared to if you're after pussy or whatchamacallit, or righteousness?
I think I see where you're going. I don't think it's going to be like some focused plot point, but I do think in the background, just with the S class in general, like we already know, like they don't really particularly care about. They don't like have any incentive that's like kind of like morally questionable that drives them to do what they do. They just kind of just do it because they have the ability, so they go out there and do it. But I don't think it's going to be like some focused plot point in the story. That's just my belief.
And they're already at the peak, so it's like no one else can do this shit. So you either call me or you die. So, I mean, most of them do seem to do it just out of fun in the challenge more than anything.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna harken back much to like Suryu or anybody else. I don't think they're gonna pursue much more of that. Probably just leave it as it is in this chapter.
I did notice some major similarities with My Hero because like how like the top heroes are selected and everything. This is basically the same thing.
Niggas always find a way to bring in trash, bro.
Well, they're both hero manga.
Yeah, and one was trash.
That's where I was wondering. I was like,
Uh-oh.
it seems kind of familiar, and it does.
Now, we don't know if this is information from the manga. I would assume, or not the manga, the webcomic. I don't know that. If
does that have to do with
Zhoniin was
anything?
here, he could tell us. But
What does that have to do with
It's not
anything?
who did it first, then? Plain and simple. But yeah, like mission accomplishments.
So does that mean that because we're out first, that My Hero copied us entirely?
I don't know.
I bet.
I'm just saying this aspect, at least.
Nah, bro, niggas copied us, bro. We have heroes they came after. They copied that aspect.
Well, guess what came first before that? Like DC and Marvel. So,
Hey, bro.
boo.
Ain't no wrong copied off of them niggas, but not My Hero. Shit. That shit big trash.
I'm just saying.
I've even started to
notice a
hear
similarity.
recently, these past 2 weeks, my hero fans turning on this shit, saying the past few chapters has been like experienced doo doo. So
Really?
They just don't like Endeavor. That's what that amounts to.
oh, so you acknowledge it, huh? There's a strong hate for a character.
No, I don't
love-
actually hate him. He's actually getting a good like redemption arc. So
I love Endeavor. I loved him. I don't read My Hero anymore, but I loved him pre-development that I've been hearing about. Like I don't like shit. When all he wanted to do was see his kid, not plural, kid succeed. He wanted one of them to rise up, and he wanted to live vicariously through them. Ain't nothing wrong with that. He was chilling.
he selectively bred them,
Yeah.
abused them so that they would become the strongest potential to outshine
training.
All Might.
That's not a bad thing. I would selectively
Drove
breed my
his
kids.
wife insane, which then caused her to pour hot water on
Wait a minute.
his child.
Wait a minute. She made that decision herself.
I'm
She
just
is the
saying
real
but
abuse.
it is the
Hold up,
driving
she poured
force
hot
because-
water on him on purpose.
Where do you
Yeah.
boiling
water,
water?
yeah.
We're moving on. We don't support that type of child abuse here, all right? What the fuck, bruh?
Bullshit. We were just talking about it at the beginning.
Huh? This is that fucking. You're throwing hot water on children, bitch.
Boiling water, bro. Yeah.
What the fuck, bruh?
That's where the scar.
And
comes
you're
from.
bringing this trash here, sir?
Oh my goodness.
None
We
of
are on
that.
the podcast. We are on the podcast where we have talked about. I don't even want to get into some
Your
of this shit we
dark
talked
backstory
about.
that you don't even think happened. It's like, did I black out during that one? Because I don't remember that one at all.
It never
Apparently
goes
I got
though.
But apparently I got like 5 of them now, so I'll just live with it.
Sholto!
Big trash, you know.
I don't even know if that was right.
What?
All right. Shout out to Moomin and shit. My nigga Moomin was out there, bro. I was really hoping we was gonna see the motorcycle, but we didn't see the Moomin cycle, dog. That shit would have been big strong. I think that was it.
Yeah, that was about the whole chapter.
Did
We're gonna start popping off soon.
Did we address the gums issue?
Oh shit!
I do.
Hey, took that
Literally, I
back.
forgot that nigga was in the chapter.
Yeah.
I forgot he was in the
That's
chapter.
right.
You're gonna go miss the last page.
I
Yeah.
forgot he was in the chapter. And I looked at the chapter 3 times. Too.
Is like Pig God stock. Up, down, how you feeling? Stock evaluation.
I mean, we haven't seen nothing from the like. When I say we haven't seen anything from the fight, I literally mean we haven't seen it.
It cuts
They
away
just
when it starts to get interesting.
yeah, we're not getting enough into the flow of the fight to actually make any assumptions about anything other than like Pit God is currently losing, which we don't know how. We can't like scale Gums or Pit God with this fight because we aren't getting into the flow with it. We're not actually seeing any feats or anything. All we know right now is that Pit God is like on the losing side. So I can't say anything about Pit God. I just don't know.
For the small amount we know for Pig God, we know even less about Ghosts. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
It ain't looking too good for our pig bro. I mean, he could be like maybe on a second win, but like the injuries don't look that bad at least. But injuries nonetheless. He might have some internal bleeding. Who knows?
I mean, the last time we thought Pig God was about to get bodied, didn't he eat himself his way out of trouble?
Yeah.
But that was like a page ago. Like
Not a page ago.
in terms of his fight, yeah, it's like I don't know, man. His stock has dropped for me. Like the entire fight has dropped stock for me too. Like I'm just. I don't think it was a good idea to set that in at the end of the chapter like that.
I mean, he already got his second win because, like, when he broke out of gums, like his eyes were glowing and shit. So that was his second win. It didn't look like it worked.
Yeah, that is true. Now his eyes are just dead.
Yeah, he like shit.
Yeah, don't think it was a good idea putting it at the end of the chapter, just that one page. I mean, like, the fact that we've seen so little, we have no idea what could have gone down. For all we know, friggin' Pig God stubbed his toe, tripped, hit his face on the ground.
Well, he just pops out of gums, and then it's like, oh god, concrete meat face.
Pretty much. But I mean, we've just seen so little of it. It's a little bit annoying in that sense. I wouldn't say it would reduce my opinion of Big God yet, though.
Also, a weird artistic thing, like when Gums is like closing his mouth, like there's the little, like, I guess it's supposed to be like the sound effect on every single set of teeth, and then when he opens his mouth, there's two of them. Is he about to shoot a laser out of that gaping hole or what?
Settle.
I wouldn't be surprised if he had some cannons on him. I wouldn't be surprised. All right. So that was it for this session's One Punch Man podcast. Please make sure you check out the reviews that we all dropped and the live reactions that we all dropped for the chapter. If you want to get a chance to bring out your opinion and your thoughts on this chapter, maybe speculate on things that we speculated on, maybe bring some light to some things, come into the Discord. Check out the link in the description and on the screen right now, and join the family, puppy. Join the family. Shout out to all the boys that came through. Satsuki, Kishin, Sundown, to all the boys that couldn't make it, Zhoniin and Matt. We'll see you boys next time. You already know. Yo ho ho!